Hello and welcome to another video critique. This time we're going to look at Clarissa Johnson's work, and I am going to start by quickly flipping back to this. So I don't want to throw you under the bus here, Clarissa. This is not specifically aimed at you. This is more about everybody, because a lot of people have done this. These images are a bit small. This is for the contact sheet portion of the assignment, and they're just a bit small. The idea behind the contact sheet obviously is to make sure that you shot all the required images, but also it's a way for me to sort of make sure that you're where you need to be in terms of, you know, image mechanics, like exposure, composition. Certainly that's more of a formal element though. Exposure, focus, even something like white balance, so all that stuff I kind of judge by looking at your contact sheet. When the images are this small, they just makes it hard to judge. This is, as you see it on the screen here, about as large as I can make it. So again, it's not just Clarissa. A lot of people do this, but so please just make it, even if you just made it like as big as, like, say, 2 over 2 down or 3 over 2 down. So I'd say at this point it's maybe 50-50 split between people who are giving me big enough images and people who are they're just a little small. I mean, for this, pretty clearly she went into Lightroom, did a screenshot, and yeah, I'm just looking for a contact sheet. So just help me help you by making those images a little bit bigger. Alright, let's head back over here to this. Alright, so once again we're going to judge these images as they succeed or fail as images, and then how well they complete the requirements of the assignment. So start here on the top left. This image is definitely has the most dramatic lighting. It's like about lighting and color as much as anything. I mean, these all look like they were shot in the afternoon. Yeah, as far as I can judge. And maybe by some of these, like, it was getting a little later into the afternoon. You can kind of see some of these shadows, the way they fall. This image, more than any of the others, seems to be, it's like about lighting. Like, lighting is really sort of working in favor of the image. So you could say that, like, this is expressive lighting, and then in these other ones, it's more functional. It's simply a source of light, and it's meant to illuminate the scene and make things visible so that they record on the camera. Whereas this is more about, like, it's expressive, it's like dramatic. You have these, like, sort of contrast between light and dark areas, highlights and shadows. So yeah, that's nice. I would say that this is the most successful of the group for that reason. In terms of these tractors, I like the color. I was looking at your contact sheet before. I'm getting ahead of myself. So I would maybe crop this to just above that exhaust pipe there, and then come right down here. Now, whether that's cropping it in Lightroom or Photoshop, whether that's cropping it by simply getting closer, sort of changing the perspective slightly as you're shooting it. And just to flip back over here for a second, she did do this to a certain extent, which you can see here. It's sort of, we have an image similar to that, like a couple here, and then kind of tighter. I think maybe this. Yeah, this is the one. This is the tire scuff. This is probably the one she did right here, number 13. Kind of went vertical with it. So you can sort of see, even this is like a little bit more like what I'm talking about right here. But I'm not sure if there's another element in that scene that made her not choose this one, or if she just simply thought the other one looked better. So I don't know. I mean, that's, again, something I, not to keep sort of nagging on that one thing, but you know, it's the sort of thing that bigger images on a contact sheet would do. So flipping back here once again. Okay. So yep, that's what I would do with that. Yeah. Otherwise, I do like the red. The green and the yellow. I think those are nice together. These shadows. That's tough because there's not going to be a lot of times during the day where you can kind of eliminate those things. The later in the day, the more pronounced it's going to be. Maybe if you'd shot it at noon, but then you would have a different sort of lighting here. It would be more top-down and just would not look the same. In terms of this, I think it does need to be tighter. Again, I feel like the image, like the real meat of the image, is right here. And I mean, as a photographer, you really want to use every centimeter, every square inch of this image needs to be doing something, needs to be, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to have something in it, because obviously we use negative space, but it does need to be really working. I think maybe the thing to do here would be to, I feel like this, I mean, obviously this is it, so maybe like you get right in front of these, and it's like circle, 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 you know, as tight as you can. And I mean, that may not be quite possible to get that tight together, but I feel like for this you want to be standing like maybe right here, like directly in front of it, longer lens, so sort of compress the space within the image, and it's like fill the screen with these three shapes, and it becomes about sort of the relationship between what's going on there. Again, I'm not trying to say like this is the way you do it. That's just, I feel like I'm suggesting that's what I would do in that scene. So yeah, I definitely like this idea. I think this is really fun. Sort of this a bit of humor in the spider, jack-o'-lantern cat thing. Like, I think that's a really funny idea. And then the last one here, I think maybe a little bit tighter, and I feel like it just wants to, like, you want to be like 2 steps to the left here. I feel like just that slight angle is like this, just wants to be a little more frontal. But yeah, I think that's kind of cute. And I sort of like the sort of kind of accents of orange all around it that the pumpkins make. So let's just flip back briefly here to your comments. Alright, so she's out of town but still in state. I'm not sure what McLeod is. Is it like a farm or a pumpkin patch or something? Sorry, that's a bit off topic. Yep, pumpkins, they can be hard. Certainly the orange, she's talking here about the orange being harder to print. Yeah. The yellows and greens, yep, I agree. She chose the director because of the yellows and greens. I would agree 100% with that. Yeah, I mean, certainly she's talking here about adding the sky in to get an extra color element to work with. I would say if you're going to do that, I wouldn't devote more than about the top quarter to third of the image to sky, even possibly less. I think you could still get in that idea, you know, still have that in your palette of your image, without, yeah, I mean, even like less, like if this was just that, if it would, if it ended right here, you'd still have that, but I think the image would just function a little bit better overall. Alright, well, once again, if you've gotten to this point, we're at the end of the critique here, go ahead and in the comments leave I saw it, the letter I, SAW, and then IT, and that will let me know that you watched the whole thing. Alright, thank you.